Hello, my name is Opal, and in Module 15, I'll be discussing environmental and international social work. So, in the first slide, micro, meso, and macro facts, environmental issues impact individual communities and global systems. At a micro level, pollution and climate-related stress can affect physical and mental health. At a meso level, communities may experience displacement, resources shortages, and increased vulnerability. At a macro level, climate change can contribute to global inequality as marginalized populations are often the most affected. This highlights the connection between environmental and social justice. A policy that supports the reduction of climate change is the Paris Agreement. The Paris Agreement is a global effort to address climate change by reducing greenhouse gases emissions and promoting sustainability. It reflects international cooperation in response to growing environmental concerns. While it has helped raise awareness and encourage action, challenges remain in enforcement, ensuring that all countries meet their commitments. This policy demonstrates the importance of global collaborations in addressing environmental issues. Future policy opportunities. So in this slide, future efforts should focus on sustainability and equity. At a micro level, interventions can address health and safety needs. At a meso level, community resilience programs can help populations adapt to environmental challenges. At a micro level, policies promoting climate change and sustainable development can reduce inequality. These solutions support individuals not just physically, but also psychologically, socially, and spiritually. In my next slide, the NASW ethical principle, the main focus on service, is the ethical principle of service is central to environmental and international social work because it emphasizes helping people in the need and addressing large-scale social problems. This principle goes beyond individuals' benefit and requires a commitment to improving conditions for vulnerable populations, especially those most impacted by global issues like climate change. In the context of environmental social work, climate change does not affect everyone equally. Vulnerable populations, particularly those in low income or developing communities, experience the greatest impact. These impacts include displacement due to natural disasters, food insecurity, lack of clean water, and increased physical and mental health challenges. This reflects broader patterns of global inequality and environmental injustice. Social workers apply this principle by actively engaging in advocacy and direct support. This includes promoting climate justice and sustainable policies, responding to disasters through crisis intervention, and supporting displaced populations such as refugees and migrants. Social workers also work to strengthen community resilience by improving access to resources and collaborating with international organizations to address these complex issues. The principle can be understood across all levels of practice. At the micro level, social workers address immediate needs such as health, trauma, and survival. At the meso level, they support communities dealing with environmental stress and disruption. At the macro level, they advocate for policies related to sustainability, human rights, and global equity. The principle fits this module because environmental issues require both immediate action and long-term solutions. It also aligns with the biopsychosocial spiritual module as environmental challenges impact individuals physically, mentally, socially, and even spiritually through loss of land, culture, and sustainability. From my perspective, this highlights social work is not limited to local or individual issues, but extends to global advocacy and humanitarian efforts. Social workers play a critical role in addressing environmental injustice and promoting equity on a global scale. Research supports this, showing that the climate change increases equity and disproportionately affects vulnerable populations, reinforcing the need for service-driven intervention. Additionally, environmental justice connects social work practice to global human rights, emphasizing the importance of advocacy and systemic change. These are my references. And just as a closing statement for for all these modules, for module 13 through 15, these modules demonstrate that social work operates at multiple levels, addressing both individual needs and systemic issues. Whether working in the criminal justice with veterans or in a global environmental context, social workers play a critical role in promoting equity, supporting vulnerable populations, and advocating for meaningful change. And thank you for listening.